Hi everyone, this is Elle from everydayelle.com, and today I'm going to show you a quick and easy video, just a video to teach some basic hand lettering. I'm going to be doing a series of these videos. This is the first one that I'm going to be doing, and it's just on tools and lines in brush lettering. So I'm not going to go over the strokes or the letters today. This is just a very basic video that I wanted to do to accompany my blog post that I'm going to be publishing soon. So I apologize if you're seeing shadows in this video. I had to find a spot in my house that was quiet, and you know, sometimes you can't find that, so we're stuck with this video of shadows. So first thing that I want to go over is just some tools. If you go on my blog, you'll find this reference sheet that you can download for free. I'm going to be putting out PDF files every time I do a blog post on this, and so you can keep this in like a 3-ring binder, or just if you want to keep it on your computer and access it when you need to. It's just a nice printout or PDF that you can use to find things fast. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is just the pens, and I've talked about this before on my blog, but I'll talk about it just briefly today. So you're going to want to start with a pen like this, which is a Fudenosuke pen, and they usually sell them in packs of 2, and you get this, I don't know if you can even see that, but this one's kind of more of a navy blue colored one, and this is a black one, and it's in Japanese, so you can't always read, you know, which one, can't tell which one is which on them most of the time. But the navy blue one is a hard tip pen, and the black one's a soft tip pen. And the way that I am able to tell it, if I can't remember the colors, is I look at this little, I don't know if you can see that there, I'm kind of close. There's a little code, I guess, on it, and it says WSBS. So I think that means that this one's soft. And then if you look at this one, it says WSBH, and that's the hard pen. So if it has an S at the end, it's soft, and if it has an H at the end, it's hard. So the hard tip pen is the one I would go with initially, but if you want to use a soft tip pen, that's okay too. Both of these have good control. They make nice thin lines and nice thick lines, and they're not super hard to use. So I would go with that. Another option, I have this in blue, but they do make a black pen as well, but this is a Pentel sign brush pen, and if you want to quickly see what those look like, this is just some tracing paper that I'll talk about in a minute as well. So the Pentel sign brush kind of looks like this, but remember that they also make this in a black color. And I actually really like these pens. They're probably like my favorite pens to use, but they have a super flexible tip on the top, so they're a little bit harder to control than the Fudenosuke pens. The Fudenosuke soft tip pen, or I mean the hard tip pen, looks like this. And it's just a little bit easier to control. Of course, I didn't make my letters correctly, but that's fine. So just look for those types of pens to start off with. And then the type of paper that you want to try to go with is called marker paper. I have to kind of tip this because my camera's not close enough, or it's too close. This is called Canson, and it's marker paper, and it's the Pro layout, and you can get this on Amazon and even Hobby Lobby or Michael's. You can also go with a brand called Rhodia, R-H-O-D-I-A, and it's a dot pad. I think they also have marker paper that you can try to use as well, and both of these papers are good because if you use a pen like this on printer paper or regular paper, it's going to probably shred the tip, and you're not going to get many uses out of it, and you want to keep your pens nice. You don't want to spend a bunch of money on pens and then have them ruined because you use them on regular paper. So I suggest doing a marker paper, or if you want to just go the cheap route, you can print your sheets out on like regular paper like this here, and then take some tracing paper. It can be any kind of tracing paper that you can find in a craft store, and you just overlay it on top of your worksheets, and you have a nice way to keep your pens still working. Tracing paper is great because you can reuse the page over and over again, and you don't have to keep reprinting them, so that's a really good option. So anything smooth like this, I think even vellum would work as far as being able to write on something and not ruining your pens. So I have this practice sheet on my website as well, and if you want to print this and use it, you are free to do so. So I will leave a blog post in the description where you can download that. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was trying to find my sheet. Sorry. So we have always learned in school, if you can see this, and you can print this out from my website too. We have, these lines here that we've learned from the time we were little, in grade school, and these lines here actually have a name, and you don't have to memorize these, but it's good sometimes to know what they're called, because when you read books or you're learning and you have workbooks that you use, they'll refer to these lines sometimes. So we have the cap height, which is the very top line. We have the X height, which is the dotted line, and we have baseline. And a basic understanding of these lines is good. So I'm just going to show you why we use, or what these lines are for, if you don't know already. So when you make a letter such as an N, let's say, sorry, I screwed that up, but you want to know that this dotted line is where your N is gonna go. And same with your O's, you want to know, like, you're not gonna go above the dotted line. And the baseline, which is the bottom line, is the line that we use to tell us, this is how far we want our O's and our letters that would sit on a base. Even a P, although the P has a descender, it would come down, which I'll get to in a second. But the baseline tells us where our letters are going to sit. The cap height tells us how far up our letters should go. And I describe all of this in my blog post. So it's used to determine how tall your letters should be is the cap height. The baseline's used for the base of your letters and to keep your line straight. And the dotted line, which is X height, is used for letters like these where you want to know where to stop. Or even the K, where you want to know where to come up and start to put your letters down. So, and then you have another set of lines that you'll often see in workbooks. And I'll try to get this a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. But the top line, which goes above the cap height, and another line that goes below the descender, or below the baseline, is called ascender and descender lines. And these tell you, so these letters like H go up and they have ascending lines, and then you have the P and the Y, which goes down. And now this P doesn't hit all the way down there, but that's because this is kind of actually a bounce lettering example. So the Y is actually going to be hitting the descender line. You can kind of ignore that. But anyway, it's good to know where these lines are or what they do, because when you go to practice and you're doing different workbooks, you'll often see an ascender line or a descender line, and you'll always see a baseline. And you're going to want to know where things sit on a base and to create uniform lettering. And so we learn these lines not because we want to have perfect, super straight lettering, although at first that's what you're going to try to do. That's going to be your goal, is to have super uniform letters and to learn how to create letters and how they are formed. Which strokes, you learn the strokes, and then you connect those strokes to create letters. And so in the beginning, when you're learning that, it's good to know how these letters are formed. You're not going to start off making words like this, for example. You're going to start off with just very simple basic rules that will help you to create your letters and words, and eventually capital letters and numbers and then you'll learn flourishing and balanced lettering eventually. So this is just a basic thing that you need to know, and traditional calligraphy wants us to follow all these rules, and modern calligraphy kind of breaks those rules eventually, so you'll get to break a lot of these rules when you learn balanced lettering especially. You'll break the rules and you'll create your own style, and you'll have your own way of lettering, and that's why lettering never always looks the same. There's people who have really bouncy lettering, there's people who have really straight lettering, there's people who don't even like this cursive style and they do like sans serif type writing. And so everyone is different, and eventually you'll learn your style. And so this is just for you to remember to learn the rules, but then you're going to break them eventually. So that's just a little rundown about lines and tools. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments the questions that you have, and I will answer them if I am able. And you can visit my blog at everydayl.com and subscribe to my posts and get updated every time I create a video as well. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, that'd be great as well. And I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later.